7 Habits of Assertive Communication. Hi, Kim here, Chartered Psychologist, and I'm here to help you with all issues regarding anxiety, assertiveness, and any other mental health problems which may come up. So, often get asked, what can I do to start becoming more assertive and kind of almost make this part of my life? So here are 7 things that you can do which can become habit forming so that you will find you'll be able to do them automatically to help you become your best assertive self. So number 1 is understand what assertiveness is. Now, I say that because quite often assertiveness gets mixed up with aggression and it gets a bad rap, especially with women, because we don't want to be seen as being aggressive or pushy or bolshy. We want to be assertive, but we want to do it in a pleasant manner. Now, assertiveness is a type of interpersonal communication which has at the heart of it respect for the self and respect for others. It's not I'm going to win at all costs. It's not I'm going to do you down. I want to get my way and I don't care what I have to do. It is a win-win and you're willing to come to a workable compromise. It's not just about bulldozing through. And sometimes, and I do remember this when I was first started working, that I would see quite aggressive people and thinking, oh my goodness, they're so assertive, they're so assertive. No, they weren't. They were aggressive because they didn't listen to other people. They weren't interested in what the other party had to say. And assertiveness actually listens to the other person. We care about what they're saying. So it's not just about me. It is a mutual level of respect. And that's number 2, is you need to be respectful of others, of their time, of their opinion, because we don't always agree, but you need to actually be actively listening and hearing what the other person is saying to you. And you will know when someone is doing this. If you think that somebody's not actually listening to you, you find they'll be excuse me, got a frog in my throat today. They'll be talking over you and they won't hear what you're saying, or they'll completely disregard your opinion and answer a different question like a politician does to the question that you're asking or the information that you're seeking. You just won't get it because they're not respecting you, your time, or your opinion. And this is something which we need to foster and make sure that we're doing this. We're hearing what the other person has to say to us. And a good way to do this is to summarize back so that they can see that you've understood exactly what it is that they are saying or asking for. And number 3 kind of leads on from that, which is accepting that there are differences. There will always be differences of opinion. There will always be differences in the way people think things should be done, especially in the workplace. You can have, a team of 10 people and they may all have a different view on how the team should be run. Doesn't mean one is right or wrong. It just means there are differences and we need to respect those and to be able to talk about it and discuss it. But number 2, being respectful of the other person's opinion, even if you disagree. There will always be differences and we need to accept that. We're not always right. The other person's not always right. Then number 4, we need to speak simply and directly, because I don't know about you, but I can't bear it when I'm talking to people and they're talking to me in this kind of business speak jargon. I have not a clue what they're talking about. Doesn't really make sense. Blue sky thinking. Well, it might make sense to some people, but I have no idea what that means. Walk the walk. Don't know what that means. Well, I do, but I can't bear those kind of sayings. So speak simply and directly. What is it you want? What is it you're asking for? What is your opinion? Just speak it directly, simply. You don't have to use flowery language. You don't have to kind of, I suppose, waffle. That's the thing is just don't waffle. Say what you've got to say, make your statement and be done with it, as long as you're being respectful and accepting there are differences. Number 5, the power of I. Now, this is quite an important one because we need to take ownership for our thoughts and our opinions. If somebody's upset us, we don't say, you have made me do this, you made me feel this. No, when you do this, I felt. We are owning our own feelings. And the power of I is incredible. You are not blaming other people, and it tilts the discussion in a completely different way because you're not saying when this person did this behavior, they made you do this. No, they didn't. We are responsible for ourselves. Other people are responsible for their own actions and we're responsible for ours. We're responsible for our own feelings. Things can be triggered in us, but it's not the other person's responsibility. We're responsible for us. So saying, like I said, something like, when you behave in such and such a way, I feel quite disrespected, or makes me feel upset. You are owning your feelings. You're not saying they're a terrible person. You're not globalizing them as something bad. You're talking about a particular behavior or a particular aspect of something which they did, and you're owning your own part and feelings in that. Number 6, and this is a really important part, stay calm. And this can be quite, when you're in a meeting or you're getting into a sort of a bit of a discussion and things are kind of getting a bit heated, staying calm or going to a space where you can become calm again can be quite difficult. And this is something which you can practice outside of meetings and outside of interacting with other people. And one of the techniques which I teach, which is very powerful, is the soothing rhythm breathing, which is a technique which actually helps to counteract the threat system. Because when we can become kind of quite angry or frustrated with something, our threat system is triggered. So, our heart rate increases, the blood is pumping around the body, we might feel hot, our gastric juices might be shut down, we're not thinking correctly. So we need to do something to counteract that so we can come back to a calm state where we're actually able to hear what's being said to us and actually be able to take it in. So the soothing rhythm breathing is just a little technique where you kind of have your feet flat on the floor, your shoulders are back and down, and this posture is very important because when we're anxious or angry, we kind of come up and in on ourselves. So just even doing this, sometimes I'm just sitting at your desk and putting your shoulders back and down and taking a deep breath can actually be quite calming and releasing. And if you practice this, the breathing is you breathe in for say 4 to 5 seconds, hold for a second and then breathe out. And you just find a rhythm which is right for you. It's kind of like breathing from the diaphragm. You're breathing all the way in slowly and then breathing out. This is not about relaxing. It's just about slowing down. So when the threat system's triggered, we need to slow ourselves down and come back to that calm, steady state where we're then able to deal with anything which comes up. And number 7 is to foster healthy boundaries. And this is something that's really important for yourself, to know where your boundaries are, to know what you will and will not accept, what isn't good behavior from other people and also from yourself. Because in the work that I've done, I've worked with a lot of, I used to work in victim support, so I work with a lot of victims of domestic violence, and they had their boundaries so crushed they didn't even know what a boundary was. And when you don't have boundaries, you don't know you don't have them. And actually when you realize that you can put in a boundary, it's quite a revelation, especially to people who've been kind of pushed around. So if you find you're a bit of a people pleaser or someone who hates saying no to something, hates pushing back and always says yes to things they don't want to do, fostering healthy boundaries can really help in your assertive journey. Thinking about, what have I said yes? This is an exercise I often give my clients to do. In the last 2 months, think about 10 situations where you have said yes to things you didn't want to do. And then think about why you said that. And sometimes you might actually need the help of a therapist to actually work out what it is that's going on, why you just can't say no. But think about the impact that's having on you, because if you take on too much, you're going to find you'll be the one that's burning out. Or you're letting somebody push you around, you're going to be feeling really defeated and depleted, and that is not a good state for you to be in. And then you'll get the feelings of anger and resentment, and you'll sit with those, again, very, very unhealthy for you as an individual. So fostering healthy boundaries is very important, to know when to say no, enough, I'm not, or knowing when to say, actually, I'm just going to take 5 here and walk away from something. Knowing what it's actually doing to your body, and your body will give you all the clues that you need. You will know how you feel. So when you are feeling kind of angry and resentful, just take a moment to think, what's just happened here? What am I thinking? What's going on in my body? What am I feeling? And just to even start recording these things, because this is really powerful information, because you'll know then what kind of things are triggering you. So there we go. Those are 7 habits of assertive communication, and if you start working on these and making them habitual, you'll find that you will not be afraid of any situation you go into. You might feel anxious because going for a meeting or going into an interview can be anxiety provoking, but you will know that whatever comes, you will be able to deal with it. So thank you for your company, and if you enjoyed this video, please press the subscribe button and the bell. Make a comment, let me know what you thought of it, and if there's any other videos you would like, please let me know and I'll be happy to make them. Also, check out my website because I have a free How to Be More Assertive starter kit, which is yours to download. There are lots of exercises in there, explanations of what assertiveness is and the different types of communication. And I have a big course coming up soon, so please check that out. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.